Reb Noson explains on a practical dimension the concept of what's called Eden, Nahar, Gan. Eden meaning the Eden, the river coming out of Eden, like the story is brought down and depicted in the first chapter of Genesis, Bereshit. And finally the garden, the Gan, that's called the Garden of Eden. There are two separate entities. There's the river from Eden, which is flowing from Eden to water the garden, which requires water to grow. Like a garden needs water for the vegetation, the vegetables, and the trees and the orchards, etc. to grow. So you have Eden, Nahar, Gan. And as we know, they spell out Ayin, Nun, Gimel is Oneg. Oneg means delight. Like for example, Oneg Shabbat. The power of delighting on Shabbat with the food and the drink and the good clothing and the comfortable attitude and the atmosphere of Shabbat. It's supposed to give us an Oneg, which means we are reconnecting to this concept of Eden, the river, Nahar, flowing from Eden, and Gimel, Gan, the garden. So now, Reb Noson brings an amazing insight on the practical dimension. He explains that the idea of Eden is the chokhmah, the mind, the brain, the intellect. The intellect is the Eden, and the Gan is the heart. He explains in an amazing way how the garden, the idea of the Gan it has extensions, and so to the heart. From the heart is extended all of the arteries and all the blood flow to the whole body. So it's like a garden in a sense. And this Eden, which is something beyond the world, is the capacity and the power of the human mind to comprehend godliness. Something which is beyond this world, the spiritual domain, ruchniut, spirituality, which is beyond the physical world. The mind has the ability to tap into that. That's why the mind is associated with Eden. So now there's the Eden, the mind, and there's the heart, which is the garden. And we have to see to it to water the garden, the heart, with and from the intellect. What is the key? Bridging the Eden, the mind, to the heart, the Gan. He says, Reb Noson, this is the tongue, the lashon, the mouth. Speech is the interaction between the mind and the heart, and is the key for the heart to shine, so for the mind to shine to the heart, and also vice versa, for the heart to begin to tap in to the mind. Because the lashon, the mouth, is used in two major areas in Jewish life, in Torah life. What is that? Number one, we learn words of Torah with our mouth, we say the words. And number two, we pray words, we say words of prayer, and those words are coming from the heart. So the mouth is the interface in between the mind and the heart, and it's used for both. But the main goal is to eventually draw down from the mind and to have the mind over the heart. Like they say in the world, mind over matter, we call it mind over the heart. This is the idea of articulating and learning the Torah. To have the Torah being revealed to the heart, so that the heart will conduct itself emotionally and be within the constraints of the guidelines of the mind as taught by the Torah, which is expressed through the lashon, right? So this idea of the mind connecting to the heart. But the opposite is needed also. In order to activate that the mind, the Eden, should properly disseminate a river of Torah teachings that will properly enter the heart, the words of prayer have to come from the heart as an arousal, so to speak, from below. The yearning going upwards to the expression of the mouth, this activates that the mind then can reveal to the heart. So davening is needed in order to have revelations of Torah to such an extent that it'll change a person. This is hinted to in a verse that we say every day in the Aleinu prayer. We say, and it's a verse also from the prophets, V'yadata hayom v'hashevota el levavecha ki Hashem hu Elokim b'shamayim mima'al v'al ha'aretz mitachat ein od. Right? V'yadata hayom, and you should know today. And this knowledge of knowing, v'hashevota el levavecha, return this knowledge to your hearts. Meaning that it's not enough that we know. You have to bring this knowledge to the domain of the heart, that the heart will act in accordance with the knowledge. Because you could have a person who learns and is educated and knows so many things and everything, but when it comes to action, he's kaput. He's totally disconnected. There's like no connection between the heart, mind and the heart. There's a disconnection. Why is this? Because there's a problem with the river flowing from the mind, the Eden, down to the heart, to the Gan. We have to see to it that this river it's transferred properly. This comes about through, number one, learning the right teachings of the Torah even, that will activate, and also that the heart also uses the mouth, the prayer, in order to allow that Hashem should guide, that the mind should reveal. So this, on a practical dimension, Reb Noson reveals the deeper secret behind Eden and the Nahar and the Gan, which again refers to the mind, the intellect, the mouth, speech, and the heart. And they work together.